Hello, welcome back to Midweek Point and Click. We are on episode 2 of Lamplight City, a new adventure game where it's set in like a steampunk universe where we're trying to solve a murder. We got Steve in the house. How you doing, Steve?
How's it going, everyone?
I'm going well. I think the game volume is a little bit too loud. Let me just adjust this. Music volume at least. Yeah, there we go. Cool. How was your week, Steve?
Not bad. Not much has happened other than the boss took me out for a meeting yesterday and maybe drank a little bit too much.
The boss did or you did?
I did.
Okay.
Didn't do anything except just like suddenly got really tired when I got home and napped for like 3 hours after getting home.
Ooh,
That's not a good sign. It's a sign that maybe I was a bit under.
Yeah, those naps are dangerous because you can wake up nap drunk, and that's the most horrible feeling ever.
Yeah, I think maybe because I was drinking, I woke up much better.
Okay.
It's like a lot of it's probably out of my system, and I wasn't nap drunk, but then maybe my sleep schedule's more broken than usual because I sat up extremely late, and despite that, got up 2 hours before this. So that's
Oh wow, you got up at 8.
yeah,
Woo!
and I just couldn't go back to sleep.
Damn. Wow. Hopefully you've got yourself a fresh Fropey ready to go.
I do. Hopefully, I'm assuming I'm going to pass out later in the day. Hopefully, it's not during the stream. I just you'll just hear like a thump on the audio.
Right.
Well, head
I'll
hitting the desk.
try and keep you engaged then. All right. Well, do you want to give us the recap?
How's your week?
Oh, my week was stock issue. Lisa was away. She's in Vietnam at the moment, so I've been just living the solitary life. Haven't really done much. Just been watching more Star Trek Voyager and working really. Playing some Monster Hunter with Tongs, which is great.
How's Voyager going, and how far roughly are you into it?
Episode 11 of the first season. I was almost. I groaned a little bit because it looked like there was 2 episodes back to back that was holodeck related. But it was just the intro of the next episode, so thankfully, I don't mind a holodeck thing every now and then, but not 2 back to back. That's a bit too much. But yeah, it seems that Janeway has changed her hairstyle mid-season, which for the better. I think it looks way better than the original, because it used to be just.
Yeah, I think they're finding their footing, but because I listened to the 2 actors do the podcast where they watched each like an episode. It was mostly through COVID.
Yep.
An episode per week, and they commented on the hair changes. They referred to the first one as the bun of steel.
The bun of steel, yeah, exactly. It was just the big high hair. In fact, Lisa, let me load the game so the this stops. Music stops being so loud. Yeah. So Lisa walked past and she goes, "Gee, that's some high hair," and I'm like, "Yeah, it is." But then, like 2 to 3 episodes later, Janeway kind of has like a it's not a side part per se, but it's got this. I don't know. It kind of looks a modern hairstyle for the 90s rather than old school.
Yeah, I think they were struggling with like the first female captain. They were struggling with how authoritarian to make like a hair became the piece of like, because there was always a struggle of how authoritarian to make her, how matriarchal, like how feminine to make her.
Yeah.
And the hair was mostly what they focused on with that, and that's why it sort of goes back and forth a bit because they sort of struggled with that.
Yeah, I feel like Saiku, welcome in. How you doing? I feel that they're cheating a little bit because at the same time, Janeway's hair is still very, very long. Whenever she's like in her suite, her hair it seems to be like down to her elbows or something. Or whenever she's been roughed up, which happens occasionally when the ship gets hit or something and she falls to the ground. When she stands back up, like her hair's all disheveled and hanging out. They should have just gone all the way and like cut her hair short into that style, because I think it actually suits her quite well.
Yeah. I think I might fall into that. She's mostly got, I guess I don't know the words. I'm assuming it's not a bob cut because I
No, Bob
don't know the words
like,
for cuts, but
that's a Carol Brady hair. is above
Yeah.
that, like just around
But
there.
like with the way I picture her, because I think most of the series she had like that kind of cut.
Right. Yeah.
We haven't seen the episode where she does a full like Ripley / Sarah Connor.
No, I haven't.
Ah,
I have seen the episode where she basically reprimanded Taurus and Tuvok and basically said, look, if we were back home, you guys would be fucking killed and executed, and I would never want to see you again. But
you mean Chakotay?
no, Tuvok. So Tuvok went behind her back to make a decision that she couldn't make morally.
Yeah,
And
it's the thing that'll boost them. It took Harry to another planet and back again, and they wanted to use it to, boost out or get close to home.
Yeah, and Torres was the one that actually installed it, and everything went to hell because they didn't have the technology.
Yeah, Seska kind of pushed Torres, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But then Torres decided to do it, and he caught them because he's the security officer.
Yeah.
But then he goes, "It's logical. I'm going to help you guys rather than come down on you," because he did walk in and they were like naughty children, going, "Oh no."
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, she wasn't happy at all. Anyway, do you want to give the recap of the game?
Hey, recap. I'm gonna be fuzzy with the investigation parts towards the end, but most of the game was the last episode was us trying to solve the crime of someone who was stealing flowers from a flower shop, but they were leaving money behind. But we're still investigating that and found out how they get in. Eventually found the guy, but I forget how it happened. Did we miss or something? But our partner got shot.
Yeah, he basically was held captive. It was basically the scene from Speed, where Jeff Daniels is being grabbed by the Dennis Hopper, so to speak.
So it's like that scene, except what if Keanu Reeves was a lousy shot?
Yeah, so we ended up shooting our partner instead.
Yeah, I guess he did that in Speed, but he was intentionally going for a non-fatal room, as they sort of joked about at the start, like a few scenes earlier. But yeah, so our partner's dead, and now we can talk to his ghost. It reminded me of I haven't seen the original movie, but the movie The Mummy, not the good one, but the one with Tom Cruise. They have that dynamic where his partner gets killed, and then
I haven't seen that movie. I should.
It's woefully average. It's not bad, but it's just incredibly average. But his partner, as in business partner, gets shot at the start, and then he sees his partner as a zombie. But it's also a dynamic where his dead partner, provides a little bit of comic relief. But what I've learned is, even though I've never seen Werewolf in London,
that's what I was going to say. I was going to reference that exact thing. Yeah,
I've been told that was a rip-off of Werewolf in London, where
totally
that also had the person's friend dies, and apparently, and and also irony with that dynamic, because it's not just seeing the dead friend, but it's also this dead person's now the comic relief, or making a bit of humor.
Yeah, I guess his partner isn't in bad spirits, excuse the pun. He seems to be quite jovial and mischievous, and makes fun of him and stuff like that. So I guess the murder that we're trying to solve is actually the murder of our partner. Who did that? Who is the flower dude? Or at least that's what I assume. Because we're not going to let him go unpunished.
And our guy I think his marriage is a little bit fragile possibly from the I don't know if it's a personality clash or whether it was from the partner dying. But I remember that being something.
Yeah, I don't know if it's fragile per se, but his wife is like, you need to go get help, and he's like, nah.
Yeah.
Artie Fine's in the house. How you doing, Artie Fine? I know you appreciate a good pun. Welcome in. Hey, Rams, you coming in too? Hello. Then someone was accused. Was it? The woman wasn't killed, but she was made catatonic. The woman that owns this house. Do you remember that?
Okay.
And
I'm a little bit fuzzy on the new mode of investigation.
Gotcha. So, this is the son. He is currently doped up out the wazoo, and we need to
Oh
speak to
yeah.
him. So we need to come up with a way to sober him up quickly. That was the last thing I think we were doing. I got to protect the PC for a second because Raman's jumped on top and she could hit the reset button. She does that sometimes. Yeah, and then the person of color, can't remember his name, is accused of the crime because, oh, that's right. Didn't we get the impression that the daughter is using? There's the daughter that is supposedly in love with him, but it seems like she's actually a cold-hearted person that is using him, and maybe using him as the scapegoat of trying to murder the mother.
Okay.
Because he's in prison at the moment. Remember that? We were talking to him in prison. Then we went to visit his mother, and we ended up getting kicked out of the house because we checked her voodoo stores in the back of the room.
Yeah, we said the wrong thing. We pushed too hard on the wrong thing,
Yeah.
assuming that we wouldn't get punished for bad dialogue, or dialogue choices, and we did get punished.
Yeah. I'm hoping... Oh, does the casebook say what we... Oh, yeah, good. So we've actually got... Unlike the last game that we're playing, we've actually got points of interest that we should investigate, which is so much better to have some sort of direction. So we need to discover the source of Juliet and her mother's rift. So Juliet being the... gut feeling is she's the big bad, at least of this case. Investigate the chest of the tomb. We haven't done that yet, so we should probably... I mean, that's what that looks like, I guess. I don't think we've been here. Find a stimulant to bring Andrew out of his stupor. And then return to Upton and accuse Albert Martin. Okay. Did Albert Martin really do what he's accused of? And because Madame Laura Dupre to almost be interred. Interred? Buried? Is that what that interred? Yep. Was it someone else?
Yeah, or it could be in a above ground tomb, but basically, yeah, it's just kind of buried.
Like a mausoleum. I like the idea of a mausoleum, you know? I don't know. That's a very rich person thing.
It's rich, yeah, it's really rich.
But
I actually have one, but
I don't know. It's kind of cool. I only see them in the movies.
We sort of see them at we've got a raiding party.
Ripple, how you doing? Welcome in. What were you playing? I saw you briefly online when I was trying to set up the stream together stuff for Steve, but I didn't actually see what you were playing. Hope you've been well, though. Welcome, everybody. Like Ripple, we have been playing adventure games. We do that every Saturday morning, and we are on the second episode of Lamplight City, and we're just trying to find our bearings, because we did have 1 week break. I was being professionally trained by a golf pro to increase or decrease my strokes, I guess. Point and click people have arrived. Excellent. That is fantastic. I'm glad there's a community of us. How did it go? Oh man, so good, so good. I've learned some things. Just being told how to do things with, like, in layman's terms has made my game way better. So stoked.
Yeah, because I know my dad went to one. He just said, like, there's just like these little small changes. The guy said, like, this and that, but it helped. Like, so was it that kind of stuff, or
yeah?
Deeper?
So there's one of the things for driving. Sorry, not driving. So he said to us, what club do you think golf pros use at the driving range? And then me and because I was with Sav and Matt, we said, Sav said, it must be the driver. And I'm like, nah, surely it's like the 7-iron or something, because that's like the most versatile club. And he goes, actually, it's the sand wedge. And we're like, what? And he goes, yeah, sand wedge is really versatile in different scenarios. So, yeah, we started doing that. And I've always been okay at it, but here's what he said to me, and this will only affect the Australians out there, or maybe the British. He said that when you're actually standing up to the ball to take the shot, lean into it like you're playing cricket. So your wrists are sort of pointed more forward. And just by picturing that, I knew what he was talking about, and it was delicious. These shots were it was great. That was one of the things anyway. Very, very cool. Worth the money. And it's
I'm-
weird because the Golf Pro looked exactly like, if you've ever seen Impractical Jokers, he looked like James Murray, just older, which was very weird. Not My Neighbor. I don't think I've heard of that game before. Not My Neighbor. What's that one about? In the meantime, let me just go walk out here. I think we actually had to go question the butler again. This guy.
This quack hasn't got anything more for us to learn right now.
I did a search and the 2 images for Not My Neighbor. One looked horrifying, and the other one looked like it was from, like, you know, that, I forget which branding it was, but Rabbids, the video game
Rabbits.
things. Like
Oh, Rabbids. Is that what you mean?
Rabbit, yeah, it might be Rabbids.
Yeah, like the
I think it's a Sony mascot sort of thing.
The Rayman thing. It's a
Yeah,
Ubisoft. Yeah, okay.
Ubisoft.
Interesting. And it's an adventure game by the sounds of it. Okay. I guess Sam and Max. I can't remember which one's which. Who's the rabbit in Sam and Max? Is it Max?
Yeah.
Yeah. He kind of looks like a rabbit, kind of. Like, sort of between a real rabbit and a rabbit. It's like he's halfway there.
As someone who doesn't like Rabbids but likes Sam and Max, I will disagree.
Yeah. Imitator cricket? Yeah, just rub my knees together. That's the way to do it. Similar to
like
Papers, Please. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so that's what all these portraits are for, except they're all, well, not all of them are ghoulish, but you'll have like a person whose face is just nothing but eyes, and
oh, that sounds cool.
And,
yeah, I like that.
And like it might be the horrifying one that I saw before, but yeah, someone's bleeding black blood from their eyes, and
oh, sounds horrifying then. I don't know, I'll have to check it out for sure. Just Steve, can you just ping me in Discord just the name of that so I don't forget it? You had a high school friend that had cats named Sam and Max. That's sweet. Oh, that's right. I think we're going to make the stimulant in the alchemy lab upstairs, I believe. You work as a doorman and have to check out documents of residents to come in the building. Not My Neighbor. I get it. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, hang on. I saw someone playing a game similar to that where some apocalyptic event has happened outside and you're holed up into a house and the same kind of thing happens where someone knocks on the door but you're unsure whether they're real. I don't know if it's the same one though. I'll have to have a look. Okay, is this the
I've never
alchemy?
seen so many beauty products together in one place. Doesn't look like they get used much though.
Is it horrifying like Piss Cat from Hobbs Barrow?
I didn't think that was that horrifying, but no, this picture was like just like a horror related, because it was like one of them was like I said, it was just like a picture of a woman, but I think she had like black lipstick as well and stuff like that, and black eyes, but also black liquid coming out of her eyes. It's that kind of like.
I don't know much about art, but I seem
Like sort of like horror themed, but not actually
similar tastes.
Disturbing.
So I have similar tastes because there's a naked man on the wall apparently. Cool. All right, so this is our alchemy lab. There must be
The science of pharmacology. I'm sure it's riveting stuff.
can't touch the mortar and pestle, or the pestle and mortar if you're a sicko.
Was he talking to the partner, saying this is your kind of thing?
So that's the unique thing that's really cool about this, is the narrator of the game, and when we click on stuff, is actually the ghost partner, not us. Yeah.
A gentle reminder that
Yeah, because the ghost partner is gay.
running out.
Oh, is he?
They mentioned about first episode they mentioned about there being friction when he was joined the force.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then. That makes, yeah, totally.
Decadent. Is this really the best that medical science has to offer?
Can't believe they used to use and still use leeches for blood disorders.
They still use them?
Mm-hmm.
What in the ether is that thing?
I thought they just take blood with a
Actually,
syringe
I'd
when
rather
they
not
need to.
know.
I think it's the same kind of thing where, you know, like if you've got a wound that's gangrenous or whatever, they put maggots on there to clean the wound and keep the dead flesh. I think there's a similar, not that exact reason, but something similar.
Well, leeches is because they inject a chemical that's anti-clotting, so
Yeah.
to stop the blood from clotting. But I
What
thought modern
the ether
times
is
you
that
don't
thing
even
supposed
need that.
Actually, I'd rather not know.
What do we have in our inventory? Oh, I forget how the inventory works, actually.
I can only wonder what sort of potions Andrew concocts in this thing.
We've got the scale, we've got the flask, we've got the hourglass. There's no Bunsen burner, though. Every good chemistry set needs a Bunsen burner. And this is for slow drip coffee, I'm guessing?
What in the ether is that thing supposed to be?
I was going to make
Actually, I'd rather not
joke
know.
about him when he said, God knows what he makes in this science setup. It's like, oh, he's got his own, was it science coffee? The, like, black blood of the earth setup.
Oh, hang on, what's that? Does that just right-click anywhere and it goes to the book? Oh, it does. Okay, interesting. That limits the amount of clicks that we... Same thing here? Yep, cool. All right, maybe we'll move away from the stimulant for the moment and maybe go investigate the Chesterton tomb. Got another raid. Devious George. Welcome in.
Hello, Baltimore. You've been raided.
Good to see
Many
you
of
all.
us could
Come
be the
join the fun.
killer.
We're playing adventure games.
With her vast sums of wealth, Madame Dupre could probably feed a starving family for the next 30 years.
What were you
Instead,
playing?
She uses the money to keep her hedges trimmed.
It's a devious raid indeed. Okay. Oh yeah, we can go to the Saint Denis. Oh, okay.
Ah, St. Denis Cemetery. Best view in the city. It's just a shame none of the residents can enjoy it. I think I'm buried around here somewhere.
Oh,
What are
wow.
the old gravestones
Just finished
doing
Lamplight
these
City.
days?
Nice. Nice. Yeah, we're on our second episode, so we're not too far in. We usually go for about 2.5 hours each time, if that gives you any indication how far we are. Definitely enjoying this game. It's got a unique feel to it, which I really like. We mentioned it before, but having your ghost partner as the narrator in your head is a really cool idea. Kind of unique. As far as I know, it's not inventory based like a normal adventure game. Like you might collect things, but it's not like you're selecting an item and using it on something. As far as I know at this stage, we're still early days, but yeah, liking it a lot.
Nice view of the river from up here. You can hardly even see the cloud of smog over the chum.
What did you think overall now that you've beaten it? Were you impressed? Let's talk to old mate.
I don't know him. Must be a recent addition to the force. Well, at least he won't recognize you.
Ah, true, because we're no longer a cop anymore. We're a private detective, aren't we? I think that's...
Yeah.
Looks like people have left markings and offerings in front of this tomb. You may think it's a silly superstition, but I wish you'd leave a bottle of Bollingworth at my grave every now and then.
You can't drink it, mate. Come on. Let's converse.
Good day to you, officer.
Good day, sir. How may I be of assistance?
I said, good day, sir. Very impressed. Great story and cases, and interesting with the items. Yeah, so that's a question that I can ask you. Are there multiple cases in this game? It's not one long sort of case going forward, or are they sort of like bite-sized cases throughout? Which were a stretch to solve. Yeah. That's the adventure game logic. Nice night for a walk.
Sure is a nice day to be walking around the cemetery, wouldn't you agree?
I guess, if you're into that sort of thing.
Cool.
Personally, the noise those bugs are making is starting to drive me crazy.
Hello?
Would you mind
Hello,
letting me in the tomb,
Baltimore.
please?
Someone
Afraid I
who is
can't do
following
that,
you.
sir.
Looks
This
like I've
tomb
got
is currently
competition.
part of a police investigation and ain't available for visits until further notice.
Thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Let me quickly do the same. If you're into adventure games and stuff. There we go. Done. Followed.
I think you were saying about mausoleums before. Like, I've seen them at a cemetery, but never inside. Never been able to see inside them.
Yeah. Kind of morbid, but
It's also very much smaller.
when thinking about how I want to go and all that, like throughout my life, I've always thought, I think I want to be buried, because if there's a slim chance that there, like, something happens and zombies are brought back from the dead, which is, it's that little 5% of the brain that you suspend disbelief because it's fun. Then being a body means that you can come back. Being dust, not so much. But then I thought, if I'm going to be buried, what I'd love to do is just put so much money in to get the most grim-looking gargoyle headstone you've ever seen. So then you can be like Old Man Jenkins down at the cemetery. The kids will be afraid of you, you know? Lise! Welcome in. Lovely wife, Lise. In Vietnam. It is early for you. Holy. 4 hours previous. Yeah, exactly. Get a gargoyle, something scary. So then the kids walk through the cemetery at night and they get the willies.
Recently, I've been thinking, like, because now you have the caption on the headstone, like, how filthy can you get with that?
Of course.
Like, before they just go, no, there's kids walking past.
I don't think they would ever turn down the dead, right? Like, if you wanted to be tell your prawn joke chiseled into the stone, you could do it. You want to come back as a smoke monster from Lost? Yeah, that'd be alright. Ninbin.
Oh, yeah.
Ninbin, yeah. That was always the weed town.
I thought we were about to say the exact same thing, because remember the comedy sketch show Full Frontal, and there used to be it was like a current affairs mock-up. I know, yeah, it was Eric Bana pretending to be Ray Martin, and they would go to the audience.
Yeah.
And one of the actors, comedians, used to be the hippie person. And she would always say she's from Nimbin.
I remember that. Yeah, that's a blast from the past. That's like mid-90s.
Yeah.
We can be turned into fireworks. That's cool. Also, I think we could be turned into colored diamonds and things, like to be worn like jewelry. Yeah, Lise was afraid that going to Vietnam, because she's vegetarian, that there wouldn't be much food, but she's been telling me constantly that the food is delicious over there, so that's good. Alright, let's see. But it's my dear departed Aunt Hester's birthday.
But it's my dearly departed Aunt Hester's birthday today, and I always bring her flowers.
I'm sorry, sir, but I've got my orders. Come back in a few days. I can assure you, your aunt won't have gone anywhere.
Now, let me snooze this quickly. There we go.
Good day to you, officer.
Afraid I ain't got time for idle chat, sir. Please, move along.
It's interesting because, like, last night I streamed the Life is Strange double exposure, and there's a scenario where you need to get past a cop in the exact same method, and my mind immediately went to the solution of that, which you can't do in this game at all. Okay, did that update our book? Let's see. Investigate the tomb. Okay, so we can't do it right now. Anything else we can click on? Not really.
This just goes to show you can't take it with you, so you might as well spend it all on a giant tomb.
Yeah, that's the way. I mean, that's like Nicolas Cage's pyramid, right? Alright, let's, where else are we going? Discover the source of Juliet and her mother's rift, sure. We can go speak to Juliet again. Investigate the tomb, bring a stimulant, and return to Upton and accuse her.
Is that just spoiling the ending of the case?
What's that?
Is the to-do list spoiling the end of the case?
To accuse Albert?
Yeah.
I don't
The
know.
connotation is that he's the one that did it.
I mean, currently he's the guy in prison, so that
So
might.
it could be just like this is likely the scenario, but it's going to change when we.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Because it doesn't seem like it's too obvious for him to be the actual person.
Taxidermy stage for humans. Oh yeah, that's yuck. All right, so we've got.
He's watching you like a hawk. Looks liable to toss you in one of his cells if you try any funny business. Nothing else to ask
Like
him
this
right now.
screen really
He
looks
hasn't
like.
got much time left. Best not to waste it.
Remind you of Monkey Island? Get the grog and
Oh,
carry
that's-
it from the scum bar and put it on the
That's
lock.
one of the things I was going to say, like a real point-and-click adventure cell thing, where it's like no thing in reality would be like this. But it's also like, yeah, Monkey Island with the 3 gel cells and someone behind one of them.
Got the Cat of Nine Tails here as well. Give him a good whipping. Okay, it doesn't look. Oh, there's a horn here. What's this do?
I bet that's a direct line to the police department. You should make a rude noise into it when Giles isn't paying attention.
Okay, so we can't do this aspect yet. So let's go maybe speak to the lady in the botany place. Lise, what do you got planned for today? Oh, and Lise, I got sticks in the air this morning. It was glorious. For those that don't know, so for some reason, Ramen, good old little Rams, she always lays on her back with her paws in the air with her belly exposed for Lisa. Doesn't really do it to me, but since Lisa's gone, she's been doing it. It's really good. Fordham residence. We can go speak to our wife there. Where is it? The university. This is what. There we go.
Hello again, Miss Montgomery. Mind answering a few more questions?
Hello, Mr. Fordham. Not at all.
Hopefully we've got some more stuff. Andrew, yes.
What can you tell me about your brother?
Andrew, Mama's precious little boy. If you've met him, you pretty much know all you need to. He's had the whole world handed to him on a silver platter. But he's in for a rude awakening someday. Mother can only provide for him for so long.
No more questions for now.
Oh,
and
really?
if you don't mind, I have work to do.
Really? Okay, I think we're kind of stuck now, potentially.
Those flowers are definitely not native to this area. They seem to be thriving in their glass tubes, though.
That's one criticism over the game is sometimes when it has the close-up talking like that, sometimes some people's lips are just wrong.
just wrong.
Well, it looks like the lip part
I suppose they're feeding.
is too small, and like someone's photoshopped the colored part of her lips to be smaller.
Right. I thought that the lips like this look like Mike Minardi lips. Anyway, yeah, so we are kind of stuck, I think. I'm okay potentially if we get we'll give it a few, few tries, but if we do get stuck, small little nudges are okay. Obviously spoilers we don't want, but if there's like a hey, maybe go speak to this person or something like that, I'm okay with that.
Honey, I'm home. You know, I've always wanted to say that.
Good to see you've made it back in one piece.
Let her read in peace for now.
Let her read in peace.
Okay, maybe the relationship's not as bad as I thought. I remember there being a bit of friction.
You used that desk. Did you even notice when Adelaide got rid of the chair?
Oh, it's Adelaide too.
That's because we had a
a whole conversation about our shared grandmother's friend from across the road.
Adelaide's father certainly had an amazing life. Imagine being the personal barber to the Prime Minister and his family. The gossip and secrets he must have heard.
I feel like the stimulant is what we need to work out first. Because if we can get Andrew talking, that will then steamroll or snowball into talking to his sister. Remembering the HMS Ligier, Gascon Grandon dies. Ethericity, it's real and it's coming. Second bizarre murder baffles police. Okay. they're just headlines. I guess we go back there every now and then and see what's going on.
Didn't I give you two that clock as a wedding present? Too bad it stopped working. How are your parents doing these days? It's been ages since you wrote them. It might do you some good to look in the mirror a bit more often, Miles.
George, one of the things I really love in adventure games, which I don't think this one has, is when you can like hold a button or something and it shows all the interactable things in the area.
Your book collection has always astonished me. Heaven help you if you ever decide to move. Your book collection is always It's admirable just how organized Adelaide is. Maybe someday the same can be said about you. Yes, your soporific is still in there. Stop being so paranoid.
Soporific. What is a soporific, Steve?
Put you to sleep.
Remember before you started taking that medicine and you could actually read a book for more than 10
I
minutes
know that.
before
I
falling asleep?
honestly know that
You were
because
a
of
lot more fun to talk to back then.
studying any of the adaptations, but the book Dune has a soporific.
Gotcha.
There's a blade. That fight at the end, that in the Lynch version is with Sting, and it's with Frade in basically the character Frade in the new movie, and I think which one of them has? I think Frade has a soporific on his blade, like coated, so that if he manages to nick the other person, they start to lose energy. Not enough to be sleepy, but that is they start losing energy, and he manages to nick Paul. But Paul, because of the advanced biochemistry, he's able to alter his biochemistry to nullify the soporific.
Nice. Hey, Steve, can you take care of that best viewers guy? Chelsea, what is our favorite point and click? I have a special love for, obviously the Monkey Island games are great, but the story of The Dig really, really hit for me. I really enjoy that. We've done so many. You can actually see what we've finished down below. I marked down the ones that we've struck off, but I think the very first game we ever did, but I never recorded it. So all these games are backed up on my YouTube channel as well. But before I started backing them up, we did, I think it was Full Throttle, wasn't it, Steve? The first one we did?
Yeah.
Which Full Throttle also has a special place in my heart too.
Wouldn't you say it's time for a change of clothes, Miles? You've been wearing that coat for who knows how long.
So? Addie gave it to me. Besides, it gives me character.
Right. Brooding detective in a long black coat. That's never been seen before.
What are you talking about, Bill?
The Dig is
Never
pretty good.
mind.
Yeah, The Dig is great. It was it written by Steven Spielberg, or there was some sort of ties
Or
with
there's some
Steven
sort
Spielberg?
of tie-in. But then you never know how much of that's just him getting his name on it
Yeah.
to make sure that he's got the foot in the door if the video game thing did take off more than it was. But you never know how much involvement. But yeah, it's pretty darn good in terms of the writing, the
I'm
feel.
glad I don't have a
Yeah.
sense of smell anymore.
And Robert Patrick, the T-1000 from Terminator 2, was the main character, which is very good. Speaking of T-1000, Steve, you see that T-1000's in Mortal Kombat 1 now?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really well done. Lots of Terminator 2 references in the sort of clashes at the start of the battle and all that. All right, let's see. What do we got?
My favorite point and click. It's hard to, from the stuff for my nostalgia, it's hard to choose between them. Like, and most of them in the LucasArts one, so Monkey Island, The Dig, Full Throttle. They're kind of cool. But of the ones I've been introduced to on this channel, it might be clearly, without any competition, Unavowed would have to be.
Unavowed, yeah. I also was a very big fan of Kathy Rain, because that was also a very different, very mature, like extremely mature point and click. If you've never seen Kathy Rain before, give it a shot. It's great. All right.
Enjoy your reading.
Yeah.
I'll be back soon.
Take care of yourself out
I always
there.
liked the first one. Struggle with the second one. I guess I liked it, but I got stuck during the day. But then that latest one that they did was really, really good too.
Oh, yeah.
The Return, or I think their titles start to muddle together, but
Yeah.
and I was going to say the Ron Gilbert one, but I think he's probably involved in a lot of them. But yeah, that new one where it's the starts off with the kids in the playground and the
Yeah.
theme park.
I think that one is backed up to YouTube as well. That one, yeah. Oh, Kathy Rain's getting a sequel? That's good to hear. Didn't know that.
Not much of a hurry to clean up in here, are they?
Hobbs Barrow was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think with Kathy Rain and Hobbs Barrow, like they have really good starts and a really good feel, but the ending ends up just being like both of them just being going into like a labyrinth and doing puzzles. Like they kind of peter out. They don't like. Whereas that's what I like about Unavowed is it's almost like every point, like all cylinders are firing, whereas opposed to a lot of them have some sort of, well, the other ones we've done have some sort of weakness, even though elements of them are strong.
I just had a theory, Steve. Isn't coffee a stimulant?
Yeah.
Couldn't we just give...
like I was thinking to get someone out of his stupor, it might be smelling salts, or I was wondering if we're just going to give him cocaine as like a... This negates the heroin he's likely taken, but yeah, coffee, technically a stimulant. I wouldn't have thought it'd take someone out of his stupor, but technically a stimulant.
Maybe it will. Let's have a look. Talk to Madam.
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
Okay. Oh, this is where you... Okay, this is interesting. So when we figure out who done it, so to speak, we can wrap up the case?
I wanted to go over the case with you.
Okay, what have you got?
I seem to have hit a roadblock. There's an officer posted at Dupre's family tomb, and he won't let me in.
Makes sense. Who's the officer?
I've never seen him before. He's young, has a small scar over his left eye, and a distinct Dixie accent.
Left Eye Lopez.
That would be Officer Grant. He's only been with the department for about 2 months. I don't know a lot about him, but he's already got the reputation for being the type of policeman who'd go out of his way to help old ladies cross the street. Typical Southern gentleman, it seems. Perhaps you can use that to your advantage?
Okay. Oh, so maybe this lady is like the hint system.
Yeah, I was wondering if that's the review.
Very helpful.
Is he refusing to talk?
More like incapable. The family doctor has him pretty well drugged to the gills. I need to find some way to perk him up.
Well, you know we are in
Yeah,
the
see?
house.
I have a feeling it will take something a touch more powerful than coffee. That's enough about the case for now.
Okay.
Oh, wow. $5.24 for Unavowed. And that's the thing with Unavowed. There's so many different permutations of how that game could go. Because there's that character creator at the start and all that sort of stuff.
That's it, I
Yeah,
think.
like which profession,
Then you'd better get back to it.
and then which combination of people do you pick on each mission?
Book of Unwritten Tales was also excellent. Just know that going in, if you want to ever do it, the second one doesn't end satisfyingly because a sequel will never be made. But still very, very much worth the journey.
Give me an old-fashioned tea kettle any day. She's running back and forth at lightning speed. Clearly, she dips into the coffee supply.
Can we not bring coffee?
The specialty house brews. These are definitely not coffee.
Okay, maybe we'll go back to the cemetery now that we know that we can use the... we can trick this guy, hopefully.
Good day to you, officer.
Afraid I ain't got time for idle chat, sir. Please, move along.
Oh, you kidding? George, if you want to give like the smallest little nudge, I'd be welcome to it, rather than us running around between scenes.
If only that police officer wasn't guarding the tomb, you could go in there and raid it to your heart's content.
This looks familiar, this skull. Yeah, the old lady across the street. Would help an old lady cross the street is what she said. Oh, it looks like we can't go to the mother's house anymore as well. There was an icon at some point to speak to not Andrew, the guy that's in prison. Maybe there's something in here. We'll continue looking.
Nice view of the river from up here. You can hardly even see the cloud of smog over the chum.
Find a way. Okay, so we did update this. Find a way to distract. That's good. Upton. Is Upton the lady that we just spoke to? Probably.
Yeah.
Looks like people have left markings and offerings in front of this tomb. You may think it's a silly superstition, but I wish you'd leave a...
I already know that. Yeah, sure thing. There's nothing really we can select. There's just the tomb, this tomb, yeah. This tomb, the view, and the officer. That's it.
This just goes to show you can't take it with you, so you might as well spend it all on a giant tomb.
Maybe... When you say the other woman, do you mean that... Hang on, where is... Yeah, this one here.
Her eyes are glazed over, and she's got a vacant, expressionless stare. She seems completely oblivious to her surroundings. If we didn't know she'd been buried alive, I'd say she was just exhibiting the typical symptoms of your average rich person. This quack hasn't got anything more for us to learn right now. This fountain probably looked nicer when it was working. There's an angel on the fountain, but it doesn't look like it's weeping. This would probably be too risky a place to hide something anyway. With her vast sums of wealth, Madame Dupre could probably feed a starving family for the next 30 years. Instead, she uses the money to keep her hedges trimmed.
Wasn't there... There was a puzzle on the piano as well, from memory. I'm going to quickly check that out.
Polly, want a cracker?
No, thank you. Rock,
So long, Birdie.
rock. Bye-bye.
Oh, there was a lady in the kitchen, but she doesn't want to speak to us.
Pardon me, miss.
Go away. I have nothing to say to you.
Mm-hmm.
Judging by the amount of food this family probably eats, washing the dishes must take forever. Looks like the type of spices you'd use in a stew. Most likely paprika or turmeric. Nice variety of reds and oranges. Yeah, it looks like gumbo's on the menu tonight. I wonder how it compares with Upton's special recipe.
I saw an Instagram video, Artifine. I'm pretty sure you know about this. You know, like that guy that drinks the thick water. It was this video was about making your own thick water with okra. It's pretty gross though.
Certainly no
What's
shortage
thick water?
of bowls
Is it
or
just-
food preparation items around here.
It's water that has like a thick texture.
Okay.
Some kind of water dispensing
it's more
device,
viscous.
maybe? I was never very good at finding my way around the kitchen.
Chilies on the top. I'm so nervous because Ramen's paws are on the power button. I need one of those, like, you know, those little things that are on a missile, like before you,
Oh, yeah,
you
it's
launch
like
missiles.
the covers.
Yeah. One second, I gotta. Okay, it doesn't look like we can do anything here.
Certainly no shortage of bowls or food preparation items around here.
When you say access to the other woman, do you mean either her or the mother? Or do you mean as the sister? Because I've exhausted their dialogue. Let's go see if we can figure out this piano puzzle. This is where you come in, Steve. You're good with music.
Yeah, definitely.
There's nothing useful to the investigation in there.
A horrible little porcelain
Dear,
figurine.
female dear,
Madame Dupre didn't
Ray,
strike
a
me as the
tropical
type to
golden
play with
sun.
dolls.
I know all the music theory.
Mm-hmm. It's like on Hard Quiz, the harpsichord dude.
Mm.
I have a feeling like we enter in a combination and then this will flip up and there'll be drugs in there or something. There was a sheet with the music, so maybe we'll go check that out. And if you can grab a screen grab, Steve, when we actually look at it.
Yeah, I hope there's not a caption like that, like standard puzzle thing. Makes sense when it's 7th guess, but not for something like this. I've been replaying the games, The Room 1, 2, and 3. I'm halfway through 2, I guess.
Okay.
And one stage there's a music puzzle in that, and it's like, oh god.
Well, someone's fancy. I never liked these types of beds much. They feel too claustrophobic.
I always thought they had a certain appeal myself.
Yes, you would think that about a bed that lets you shut out the rest of the world.
Oh, Chinatown Detective Agency was a pretty good adventure game too.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
They're all empty.
Actually, that's probably up there.
Not to mention disappointing.
Oh, a chest.
Locked. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised.
Maybe we can get the key to unlock that somewhere.
I've never seen so many beauty products together in one place. I've never seen so... Juliet really likes plants and flowers, doesn't she?
Boxes. Okay.
Nice little cottage. Looks like it would make a nice cozy spot to retire. If I hadn't already retired from life, that is.
Ah, yeah, here's the musical scales here. Oh. Did we do something with this again? I can't remember.
One of those melodramatic romances. I read it a while back, and I couldn't tell you a thing about it. Now that one sounds interesting. I was always a fan of Bedletter's short stories. Doesn't appear to be very brief if there's 2 volumes of it. I wonder if anyone outside the family would find this even remotely interesting. Doesn't appear to be very...
Okay, so that's the same thing.
Choice and consequence. Who in their right mind would write a book about that? I don't even want to know what that one's about.
Equestrian mesmerism.
I read that one last year. If you ever wanted to know the intimate details of a buffalo's anatomy, I highly recommend it.
It's for you, Steve.
Nothing else of interest in there. Seems Madame Dupre fancies herself a poet.
Okay. Right. I don't think we saw
Once
this
was
before.
a man from Nantucket. It's that kind of poetry.
To dream, O Morpheus, caress my cheek. Bring forth the soothing visions. Give me strength when I am weak. Allow me some provisions in your domain. I am as queen, controlling all I see and hear. I've traveled places I've never been, and know not the meaning of fear. Laura Dupre. The Dove. The dove is pure, serene and pale, a glowing angel in the sparkling sky. Its gentle coo's unlike the wail of the cursed crow that will not die. Protect the dove from grim defeat, let it remain in gentle flight. That doesn't rhyme, for when the crow's allowed to eat, it covers the world in eternal night. Flight and night and eat and defeat. Hey, okay, fair enough.
Well, that was life-changing.
For once in my life, I'm completely speechless.
Then perhaps I should take this with me and read it more often. Nah.
Oh, don't quit your day job. Achievement popped. That's rude. Okay, I don't know what letter this is. Is that an... It looks like an F, but is that meant to be scale?
That's the thing I gotta see.
Do you
The
want to take a snapshot of it?
favorite limerick, actually, I meant to memorize that at one point, but I don't have it off the top of my head. But I'll try to look it up. The interesting thing was, like I said, I listened to that podcast with the two actors going through Star Trek Voyager. Now they're going through Star Trek Deep Space Nine, but they fell into a thing, because initially they were making fun of Netflix not having good synopsises for their episodes, because that's where their synopsises came from. And so they fell into a pattern. It took them a bit, but they fell into a pattern where one of them tells a haiku. There's a plot synopsis as a haiku. That was the original one because it was like haikus force you to be brief, but to the point. But then the other one does a limerick, so he does a limerick synopsis for every episode, which is interesting.
I have some questions for you. Oh, goody. I found this bottle of pills upstairs. Are they yours?
Yes, I take those from time to time when I'm feeling tired.
You seem to be out.
Yes, that is a pity.
Where do you usually acquire them?
Oh, they're available by mail order only. I'll have to remember to request some later.
Thanks for your time.
No, thank you.
Mail order pills, hey? Some Stray Overlord, some Blue Chews.
As amusing as it is to chat with this oddball,
Okay.
her eyes are glazed over. If we didn't know she'd been
Same thing, yeah.
with her vast sums of wealth, Madame Dupre could probably feed a starving family for the instead, she...
Well, that was exiting. Okay, let's talk to the wife. Maybe she can help us out.
I've managed to survive the wild streets of New Britannia.
It's good to have you back.
Adelaide, help us.
Addie?
Yes, dear?
Oh, okay, here we go.
I was wondering if you could do me a favor.
What is
I
it?
thought it was going to be
There's
his
an
wife.
officer posted in front of Madame Dupre's family tomb, and I need to get a look inside. Could you use your wiles and charm to distract him?
My wiles and charm,
Well, you are irresistible, darling.
Give us your
I'm
best
sure you
Blanche
wouldn't turn away
impression.
a lady in need. Say you've gotten lost in the cemetery and ask him to show you the way out.
Should we really be tricking a police officer like that?
There's
Yes.
no harm in it, and I won't be but a moment inside. It's in a good cause.
All right, let's go then.
Okay. Good to know that she can be our sidekick.
Excuse me, officer. I was wondering if you could help me?
What do you want?
You know, you.
I seem to have gotten all turned around. Do you have any idea how to get to the front gate?
My suggestion would be to turn around and head back the way you came.
Yes, I've tried that, but I seem to just be going in circles. Perhaps you could point me in the right direction?
Stop right there. That's quite enough from you.
Whoa.
I beg your pardon?
Don't think I can't tell what your game is. You're trying to lure me away from here and into some alley where your gang of Sambos is gonna rob me blind.
Oh.
Exactly how many of them have you got lying in wait for poor unsuspecting fools you bring them?
Just one.
Oh.
And he doesn't appreciate you talking to his wife that way.
You know, Miles, sometimes I forget how absolutely delightful it is to watch you lose your head.
Miles, was that really
Right in the
necessary?
kisser.
I'm sorry, Addie. You know how I get with people whose minds are full of that rubbish.
Let's just get him out of sight before this lands both of us in jail. That bush over there should work.
Just throw the cop in the bush. No repercussions
I have to say,
whatsoever.
I wasn't expecting assaulting a policeman to be on today's activity list.
It'll be fine. When you're on the force as long as I was, you can pretty much get away with murder.
Although I think you may have already used up that privilege.
That's true.
Well, it's been fun, but I need to take my wiles and charm over to my appointment with Mrs. Lefebvre. I'll see you at home later, dear. Try to stay out of trouble.
All right. That went well. Oh. What's this?
That nest is full of eggs. But where's the mother bird?
Perhaps she abandoned it.
Always assuming the worst, aren't you, Miles?
Choice did we make it a standoff? We shot our partner, just like Jeff Daniels in Speed, and he rolled off the roof and then went squish. If that's what you mean.
Oh, is there different ways they could play out?
Yeah, because remember there was the
You wanted
choice
that.
of whether we wanted to shoot or not.
Yeah, but I wondered if it was going to lock you in or whether there's different ways.
A dramatic statue. I'm rather surprised no one has defaced it. Hang on. You don't suppose this is... These crypts are reserved for future generations of Chestertons to rot in.
There are only 3 left.
Then let's hope the Chestertons aren't opposed to spending eternity cozied up to one another. These crypts are reserved...
There are only 3...
Then let's hope that... This must be what was going to be Madame Dupre's final resting place.
I don't see anything inside.
What? Were you expecting a note from her attacker?
No, but I was hoping for some kind of clue at the very least. John Patrick Chesterton, 1740 to 1825. Patriarch, leader, family man. Desmond Chesterton, 1745 to 1810. Strong in life, stronger in death. Jane Scott Chesterton, 1746 to 1815. Ab Eterno. William Arthur Chesterton, 1770 to 1837. Gone but never forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I got my favorite limit here. I don't know that many of them, but... Alright. There was a young engine driver named Hunt. He was given an engine to shunt. He saw a runaway truck. By yelling out duck, saved the life of the fellow in front.
That was more clean than I thought it would be.
I like it for that. I like it feels dangerous all the way through.
Yeah.
And ends up being clean.
Celine, 1823 to 1844. Taken too soon, rest ye with the angels. Sarah Chesterton, 1784 to 1812. I told you I was sick. Douglas Chesterton, 1791 to 1840. Good riddance. Dale Chesterton, 1795 to 1843. A good man. Rest in peace.
These crypts are reserved for future generations.
There are only 3.
Then let's hope that... This must be what was going to be Madame Dupre's final resting place.
I don't see anything inside.
What?
No.
Surprise, surprise! A hidden compartment with a stash of pills inside.
Oh.
Seems Mr. Montgomery has a little business on the side.
Maybe we don't need to use the alchemy kit. Alright, well, let's go back. A rare unfilth bag, Steve. Yeah, very rare. Like hen's teeth.
I have some questions for you.
Oh, goody.
Have some pills, you mug.
You'll never believe what I found in your family's tomb.
Oh? Was it a ghost?
No, it was these vigor pills. You wouldn't happen to know how they got there, would you?
I see you really are good at your job, aren't you, Mr. Fordham?
Look, Andrew, I'm in no mood for games.
Doesn't it look like the color of his lips is like before the edge of his actual lips?
Like he's sticking his tongue out instead of closing his mouth. Is that what you mean?
It just feels like there's too much. There's normal skin around the edge of his what should be his lips.
Maybe the way it's done is like this should be completely in shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's almost like someone with big lips, but then drawn lips, small lips are drawn. Like he's still just got that lip, the lip of his lips is past where it's colored.
The old lips.
Just be quiet and take one of these pills.
I suppose one would help. Thank you. My goodness, I always forget how fast those pills work. My heart is racing.
Grinding
You
his
said you
teeth.
had questions, didn't you? Well, go on, ask them already. You mustn't waste any more time.
Yes.
That seems to have done the trick. I just hope we haven't doomed him to a heart attack.
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
I can't believe anyone would be so cruel as to do what that wretched bastard Martin did to her. Mother is kind and generous, and everyone loves her. She's even good enough to hire actual people to do the housework. Not many wealthy families do that, you know. They just use automated machines or hire servants to operate the manual ones.
How do you typically spend your days, Mr. Montgomery? What are your interests?
I study pharmacology at the university. I'll be graduating next year if all goes well. I just hope Mother has recovered enough by then to understand what's going on. She and Jean were so proud of me when I started university. I'd be so disappointed if she couldn't see me finish.
Hey, Rams.
I take it Jean is your stepfather.
He is. Mother married him 5 years after my father died of consumption.
My condolences. Do you have a good relationship with him?
Not terribly. Truth is, I hardly ever see him. In fact, before the funeral, I hadn't seen him at all this month.
Where is he now?
I don't know for certain, but it seems likely he's at his hunting cabin.
His hunting cabin?
Yes, he often goes there. It's his way of leaving polite society behind and spending time with his thoughts. Considering what Mother just went through, well, I would guess that's where he's gone. Although, to be honest, I don't know why he's not here with Mother in her time of need.
Why do people run away from their problems instead of facing them? Why, Miles?
Do you know where this cabin is?
Afraid not. I don't share his passions, so I never cared much to accompany him on his outings.
Okay. Some juicy deets.
What can you tell me about your sister, Juliet?
Juliet, smart as a whip and just as forgiving. She's a fighter, that one. Despite being the only woman in her class, she's managed to rank at the top.
Impressive.
I only wish Mother was more accepting of Juliet going to university. But you don't want to hear about boring family matters, I'm sure.
Oh, but family matters are my favorite. It's always so reassuring to know how much worse off everyone else is.
You ever watch Family Matters, Steve?
That was the old Michael J. Fox, wasn't it? No, it's Family Ties.
Family Ties is, yeah. Family Matters, I think. Is that the
I've
Gary?
probably seen it, but like I don't know. Oh, it's the one with the. Oh, it's with Urkel, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was.
I think it's something else.
Yeah, I think it is the Urkel one. What's the one with the guy with kidney disease? Gary Coleman?
Doesn't seem to age. Yeah. I forget because it's something very similar.
Family, I don't know. Psyche, you would know.
What exactly were the circumstances leading up to your mother's supposed death?
Artie Finance.
What you're talking about is different strokes.
Found her collapsed on the floor. She wasn't breathing, so I immediately contacted Dr. Fellows. He examined her and pronounced her dead. We were all completely shocked. I was devastated. She'd been in fine health. In fact, she'd just been out riding that morning. You can imagine our surprise at the funeral when she sprang back to life.
What's your relationship with the servants like?
Relationship? I don't have one with them. They're servants.
Oh, gosh.
Mother always made it clear that they weren't part of the family, just help. We've only got 2 on staff right now, though, the kitchen girl and the gardener.
These are lovely people.
How is it you know Albert Martin?
He works at the greenhouse where my sister Juliet does her research. The 2 of them were involved romantically, and Mother didn't like that at all. I heard their fights. They were ghastly.
What exactly made you suspect he was the one responsible for what happened to your mother?
Well, I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? His mother's a notorious voodoo witch. Those people do all sorts of awful things to our kind. It's all out of spite, you know. He knew Mother disapproved of his relationship with Juliet, so he plotted to get rid of her.
So, you're running some kind of pill business on the side?
I'm providing a service, Mr. Fordham? Not everyone in this life is as lucky as I am. People pay top crown for luxuries like airship tickets and social club memberships. Medicine should be affordable to all. Dr. Tennyson has a patent on the energy pill formula and thus a monopoly on the market. That means he can charge whatever he wants. Students use these kinds of pills all the time, you know. Academic rigors can be overwhelming, and concentrating can be difficult without help sometimes. I've got the skills and the equipment. If I can replicate the formula, help my fellow students, and sell them at a much more reasonable price, why shouldn't I?
Right.
There's the fact that what you're doing is illegal.
Oh, you're starting to sound just like Mother. And just because it's illegal doesn't mean it's immoral. I can think of plenty of examples where the opposite is true.
You're probably the most altruistic person I've met all month.
The sad part is it's true.
That's a rather exotic bird you've got.
Yes, Ray is nice when he's quiet. But get him started and it's tough to shut him up.
Who trained him?
I think he already knew some phrases when Mother bought him. She's managed to teach him a few new ones, though.
Thanks for your time.
I wonder if there'll be that trope where the bird heard something and he'll actually say...
Finish him! Oh, yeah. It's like in those movies where it's like they're doing a murder investigation and the parrot will go, "Oh no, Leon's gonna kill me!" Like,
yeah.
not usually not that weird or strange, but yeah, that kind of thing.
Tongs, welcome in.
It's Wilhelm with candlestick.
All right, let's look at our case.
I was going to tell a story because so that limerick I told before, I wish I knew that earlier because I remember at my previous work, at one stage we got bought out by another company, but the company that bought us out was this huge, especially one of the energy companies, so it has like huge infrastructure and stuff, and there's a bunch of executives having like a meeting with everyone in the company. Going like, oh, it's going to be, we're not going to disrupt anything, and da, da, da. But they introduced it, so it's basically like that thing where it's like, oh, we're not going to change much. We're not going to come in and gut the company or anything. We're just let you guys to run like you are, which is the few branding changes and stuff. But he started the meeting with where he goes, there was about 3 of them, and he points to one of them, he goes, oh, Dave, I don't know what his name was, but just say Davo. David here, when we have one of these meetings, at other parts, even the first one here, he always tells a joke just to set things off, and he's sort of making up to this jokester. So he gets up and proudly tells this joke, and it didn't get one, not even a reaction, not even a laugh. It didn't get a reaction at all. There was no tee-hee, it just fell flat. And so the other guy checks over and goes, yeah, anyway. And I thought that would have been the perfect, and I know what the joke, I remember it being kind of like a boomer joke about kids not understanding things. That might have been part of the problem, even though it wasn't necessarily young people in the audience. Because I told my dad it, and because I was telling my dad that, and when I told him the joke, he laughed. I forget what the joke was, but I told the dad the joke and he laughed. So I don't know if it was like that kind of humor or whether it was just I told it better than the other guy did. But because when I'm telling the story, it's like, oh, this lame joke, and then I told it and he got a giggle out of Dad.
Maybe it's the start of your stand-up career then.
Could be. But I was thinking, like, if I knew that limerick, that would have been the perfect time to drop that. Like, if that joke fell flat and you go into that limerick, which is going to be, like, I can't believe he's telling that joke. Like, when it's, because it feels so rude, that you'd get this reaction because people going, I can't believe he's telling that, going to tell a filthy limerick in front of the new owners, basically, these higher up people. And then to get to the end where it actually ends up being clean, like, that would have been the perfect, like, bring up tension and then release.
There
and I reckon that would have gone a really good joke.
That's your set right there. You should go to a opening night, you know, like.
Would have only worked in that particular instance, and also stand-up comics also don't tell jokes. I remember someone saying that you have to frame everything as an anecdote.
Doctor,
you don't tell set jokes because that's what regular people do.
Guest. Be my guest, be my guest.
Tell me what you know about Jean Dupre.
I'd rather not speak of him. Madame Dupre does not need to be agitated any further.
I take it you don't look very favorably upon him then.
I'll just say this. If my wife had been attacked and left for dead, you can be sure I wouldn't leave her side.
What a gentleman. He doesn't even leave women who aren't his wife.
I see what you mean. Do you know where I might find him?
I only wish I did.
Those are all the questions I've got for now.
I hope I answered them adequately.
Her eyes are glazed over. If we didn't know...
Okay. Oh, maybe the sister will know where the hunting cabin is.
Hello again, Miss Montgomery. Mind answering a few more questions?
Hello, Mr. Fordham. Not at all.
Space! How you doing? I know you've played this game. In fact, in the first episode, I mentioned that you and Silverstreak had a bit of a go at this. I don't know if you finished it though, but yeah, enjoying so far.
Is there anything you can tell me about your stepfather, Jean?
He's a kind man. I don't really see him too often. He seemed rather upset at Mother's funeral, but I can't help but wonder if he feels the same way as I do about her death.
What do you mean?
Just that I get the distinct impression that he and Mother's marriage isn't as perfect as they'd like it to appear.
I'm starting to sense a trend here.
Your brother told me that Jean enjoys hunting. Do you know where his cabin is?
Yes, it's in Fenton Swamp. I went out there with him a few times, but I didn't really enjoy it. Frankly, the place is rather grotesque. All those stuffed trophies staring at you with their cold, dead eyes. Plants are much nicer to have around. Anyway, if you take the main road through the swamp about 1.5 miles, you'll come upon a small dirt path that goes northeast. Take that until you see a small cabin on the left. That's it.
Thank you for the information, Miss Montgomery.
Lovely.
Is Rosewater a sequel?
No more questions for now.
Then
Yeah,
if you don't mind, I have
maybe.
work to do.
I've got it wish listed. I know it's... Don't know too much about it though. Looks like she's got the same genetic lip that you don't like, Steve.
Yeah, that's the other one that I noticed it with.
Oh, there it is. Same universe? Ah, yeah, cool. That's a cool idea. Ooh.
Hello?
There's a gun
Is
missing.
anyone here?
Strange of Dupre to leave the door unlocked. Maybe it means he'll be returning soon.
Do people normally mount alligator heads? It's kind of
No, I
cool.
wouldn't think that protrude too much.
Yeah, it'd be
At
pretty
least if
long.
you've killed it and you're proud of killing it.
One of the guns is missing. Jean must be out using it currently.
Can we steal one?
One of the guns...
Nope.
You really have to wonder about someone who chooses to surround themselves with dead things.
Remember watching one of those shows where they hunt alligators? It's got people from the bayou, like a
Duck Dynasty or
American
something?
South, I guess. Yeah, but it's about hunting crocodiles or alligators. I forget which one, but yeah, the problem is it got to the bit where they kill an alligator or crocodile, and I wasn't a fan of seeing that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's a bummer.
Don't need to see any
Let's
of
see
that.
if Jean has anything interesting in here.
Not very much, except a letter.
Oh, dear Jean, thank you so much for your help. To think that Mother would try and have me withdrawn from my studies is just unbelievable. Don't worry, I won't tell her you made the university change their minds. One attempt to win a life is quite enough. Is that Ruin, maybe? Looks like Win.
Yeah, I think it might be ruined. Looks like Win though.
Oh, hello.
Who the hell are you? What are you doing in my cabin?
Jean Dupre, I presume?
Yes, that's right. Who are you?
Miles Fordham, private investigator. I'm looking into the attempted murder of your wife.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course.
Oh, I just
Forgive
put...
my rudeness, but you startled me.
Perfectly understandable, Mr. Dupre.
This is a man whose bark is most definitely worse than his bite.
Okay. Do you want a brewski, sir? Oh, they're
Where did
empty.
he put the rifle down his back?
It's like one of those sword holsters, which doesn't make sense because if you think about it, imagine you've got a sword that's 1 meter long, right? You go to put it, your arm isn't long enough to put it in. Thank you for the shout out. Past midnight? Well, thank you so much for raiding in. Good to see you. Thanks for the follow as well, and hope to see more of you.
Satchels, boxes, and other assorted boring things for hunting. I had a nasty run-in with an alligator when I was a child. One less in the world doesn't really bother me, to be honest.
Yeah, there's the reach, but also like in the movies, they show it really easily and like cartoons and stuff. But in reality, like you would have to like the thing if you looked at the back side would stick out because like when you're pulling it, you can't just like pull it all the way up. You have to like pull it around forward, so the back scabbard would lift up and look really weird, and wouldn't be just like a sling as they do.
It's almost like you need a magnetic mount instead or something like that where it can just stick to your back with magnets. I don't know.
An absolute bore.
Ah, that joke. Man, is that a mountain lion head? Like, that's so big. Is that how big they are?
Are these even native to New Britannia? Some high society type in the middle of a hunt. I don't understand why anyone would get a thrill out of murdering innocent creatures.
Me too.
Yeah, because mountain lions, even for the size of the creature, they kind of have smallish heads.
It's a clean fireplace.
Not a very dignified end for our friend Mr. Bear.
Even
this is the game that had that geometry that disturbed me a little.
Ah, yeah.
And I guess I haven't seen it since. Remember when I mentioned like, the perspective is wrong?
Yeah. I hate the idea of these kind of rugs too, where the animal's head is still attached. Like,
yeah,
it's just, I don't understand.
Very morbid.
It's not even good as a rug because you could trip over the head.
What if you lay on it, like you lay it in front of the fire and use its head as like a pillow?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Can we talk, Mr. Dupre?
I suppose so. Yes.
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
Oh, my dear wife. The past few days have been just awful for all of us.
Yes, I can imagine. How long have you been married?
For 7 wonderful years. Laura and I are just as much in love now as we were on the day we married.
That's right, stepfather.
Does he actually expect anyone to believe that nonsense?
You'll pardon me for being so frank, Mr. Dupre, but why are you out hunting and not at your wife's side?
Excuse me? Who are you to lecture me on my marriage?
Guilt.
A fellow married man, that's who. Your wife has just suffered a very traumatic ordeal. Shouldn't you be at home caring for her?
But with all the confusion at the house, with the police investigating and her being attended to by her doctor, I just needed to get away for a bit. Surely you can understand, Mr. Fordham.
And don't call me Shirley.
There's something off about this guy, Miles. He's definitely hiding something. And for once, I don't think it's from his wife.
Do you know anything about the circumstances surrounding Madame Dupre's death?
Horrible. Simply horrible.
Do you have any idea why Mr. Martin might have attempted to kill her?
Mr. Martin? You mean the boys they arrested? Andrew said it's because Martin and his mother are witches who prey on the well-to-do. You only need to take one look at him to see his trouble. It's a shame they put him away so quickly. I'd have liked to teach him a lesson or two, believe you me.
Yeah, right. A lesson on how to cower in the corner, most likely.
I suppose it goes without saying that you enjoy hunting, Mr. Dupre?
Yes, I do. I consider myself something of an outdoorsman, you see. It's nice to be able to go out and get some fresh air after being sat at the bank all day.
What about your home life?
Truth be told, I'm not at home as often as I'd like to be. I've been trying to make more time, but something usually comes up. Business is business, after all.
Yeah, but what business are we talking about here exactly?
What can you tell me about your stepchildren?
Andrew and Juliet? I see a bright future ahead for both of them.
What's your relationship with them like?
It's fine. Why do you ask?
I got the distinct impression from both of them that they hardly ever see you.
Well, yes, I suppose that is true. We don't spend much time together. But they're both so busy with school, I don't want to get in their way. Not to mention my job keeps me away from home for considerable periods of time.
Excuses. I get the feeling Mr. Dupre avoids his family on purpose. But why?
Oh, does he just
It's
want
funny.
the money?
Maybe. It'd be funny if when he got pressed about their stepchildren, said they barely see them. If he suddenly said, well, to be honest, their lips look a bit weird to me and it always disturbs me, so I try not to interact with them as much as possible.
Wow, he's kind of got the lip going as well, like he's hiding
like
gum.
Yeah.
His is
got a
alright
little bit of
though.
it.
He's fine.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Do you know anything about Madame Dupre trying to get Juliet taken out of her classes at the university?
Ah, yes. Laura didn't approve of her daughter's desire to further her education. So, she sent a letter to the university requesting Juliet's withdrawal.
That's
I didn't approve of her trying to meddle in Juliet's affairs.
That's the
If
rift.
she wants to study, she should be free to do so. I wrote them a letter myself, without Laura's knowledge, telling them to disregard the previous request for withdrawal.
Well, that's
very
nice.
good of you.
Yes, well, I dislike seeing people being told what they can and can't do by others.
Yet, he seems perfectly willing to employ servants
I was
at his
thinking the
home.
same thing.
Well, I suppose we're all hypocrites in one way or another.
I'll be going now.
Au revoir, Mr. Vaudin.
I do enjoy it where a game states exactly what you're thinking.
Mm.
All right. So that, if anything, that's the rift. This is it here. Surely she must have found out about the university letter. What's these do? Blues, tweezers, bigger pills. Okay. Anything else?
We haven't got anything else to ask him about right now.
Okay.
It seems Mr. Dupre is a Bollingworth man. Maybe he's not so bad after all. You know, I've heard it said that needing to have so many guns is a sign of overcompensation.
All right, at least we have some stuff to talk to the sister about again.
Hello again, Miss Montgomery. Mind answering a few more questions?
Hello, Mr. Fordham. Not at all.
Did your mother try to get you withdrawn from the university?
As a matter of fact, she did. Just another one of the many ways she tried interfering with my life.
What happened, exactly?
Mother wrote the university requesting that I be withdrawn. I found out about it when the enrollment office contacted me. I couldn't believe it at first. I thought it was some sort of mistake, but then they showed me the letter.
I take it you were upset.
More than upset, Mr.
Sounds
Fordham.
like a
I
motive.
was furious. I was trying to make a real life for myself. One that wasn't about dresses or debutante balls or fending off suitors. I'd been given the chance to make something of myself, and Mother was ready to bring it all crashing down, just because she didn't agree with it.
But in the end, you're still here.
Yes, Jean stepped in and fixed everything. He didn't have to do it, but it was very good of him. I'm afraid that was the beginning of the end of my relationship with Mother. We never really managed to fix things after that.
Mm-hmm.
No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
That seems like the strongest motive. She's obviously poisoned the mother with some sort of like root of whatever. I have Newt, and maybe she's the true witch actually. Okay, let's see. So we still have to investigate the tomb. Interesting. Speak to Jean Dupre, and we got to speak to him again as well. Okay. Root of D's nuts.
Mr. Fordham, you're back.
We haven't got anything else to ask him about right now.
Okay. Let's go talk to Albert. I think his name's Albert.
Nothing else to ask him right now. He hasn't got much time left.
No, okay. Let's go back to the mausoleum then. In case we missed something. Space, if you're still here, how stuck did you get playing this game?
That nest is full of eggs. But where's the mother bird?
Perhaps she abandoned it.
Always assuming the worst, aren't you, Miles? I have to admit, it's a fairly ingenious hiding spot. This must be what was going to be Madame Dupre's final resting place.
I don't see anything inside.
What, were you expecting a note from her attacker?
No, but I was hoping for some kind of clue at the very least.
This could be a red herring. I think we go to the coffee shop and speak to our handler. That's what she is, right? She's a handler.
Some hints. Yeah.
I'm thinking either that or the brother to speak to. Let's quickly speak to the brother. Whoop. Wrong place. Speak to the brother first, then the handler. Could even speak to old mate here too.
This quack hasn't got anything more for us to learn right now.
No. Okay.
Her eyes are glazed. If we didn't...
Okay. Yeah, that's the hope, that we can all bounce off each other when playing this, because sometimes we were a little bit stuck earlier just because we didn't even think about speaking to our wife to be a decoy. Yeah.
As amusing as it is to chat...
Okay, that's good. Off to the coffee shop then.
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
I wanted to go over the case with you.
Okay, what have you got?
Jean Dupre isn't talking very much. I think he's hiding something.
Well, you have a knack for making people divulge their secrets.
There has to be something that'll make him talk. Perhaps I should check with those close to him. That's enough about the case for now.
Okay.
Wow,
That's it, I think.
Then you'd better get back to it.
people that are close to him really... We spoke to Andrew. He's an oddball that he doesn't want to be spoken to. So really, it's just the daughter again.
She's busy. That's not to bother her until we have something to ask her.
Hope we get to murder again. Yeah, we murdered our partner. In fact, Space, that's a good question. When your partner was on the roof, did you shoot him or did the bad guy throw him off the roof? Yeah, we shot. I think everyone just shoots him, because even before, when George was in here, he said the same thing. Oh, our wife's gone.
Doing something naughty with Agnes?
No, she's gone.
She might have been with the milkman.
Investigate the tomb. Done that. There's nothing there. Return to Upton and accuse Albert Martin. We don't really think it's Albert at this stage. I'm thinking it's the daughter, to be honest. And speak to Jean Dupre. Mm-hmm.
Any motive she might have is being undone by the dad.
No, but
Or
should still
stepdad,
be
right?
should still be pissed off though that she tried to do it. But then, yeah, maybe the daughter and the
But it's not like
stepdad are
she
in
can go
cahoots.
to university because she made, like, there's no gain other than, like, it could be she's angry enough, but there's no real gain to killing her.
Mm. Maybe we can talk to the doctor. So there's only a couple of people that are close to him. It's the son doesn't want to talk to us. The daughter doesn't want to talk to us. She's a mute, so it must be this guy.
This quack hasn't gotten anything more for us to learn right now.
There's still the puzzle with the piano and stuff too.
Oh, Mr. Fordham, you're back.
We haven't got anything else to ask him about right now.
We don't have anything. I think literally every single person doesn't want to speak to us now.
Some high society type in the middle of a hunt. I don't understand why anyone would get a thrill.
Yeah, we know that.
Jean probably wouldn't appreciate you snooping through his things while he's watching.
How do we get him to go away?
Satchels, boxes, and other assorted boring things for hunting.
If we knew where our wife was, we could just get her to distract him again. Tweezers. We didn't do anything with the tweezers, did we? Pills we sorted out.
We haven't.
Accused by Madame Dupre's son. The son involved in Dupre's daughter. Upton thought he was innocent. Was likely poisoned. You know, it could be the one person we didn't speak to for a while is the kitchen lady. Unsecret Crush, how you doing? No, she's good. The wife likes us. She's just, we used her earlier to distract the guard in the crypt. But now she's just gone.
I thought from the first episode they were in a rocky relationship, but they don't seem to be.
Oh wait, do you mean my real wife? I don't think so. I think she's still happy with me.
Pardon me, miss.
Go away. I have nothing to say to you.
This is a huge kitchen when you think about it.
Yeah, that's like a.
Oh man, that bread.
This type of video games, movies do it to an extent too, though. Movies and television, because the camera's got to fit.
Yeah. Psycho, does this bread make you want to go to a bakery? Man, I'd love... Oh, maybe that's what I'll do. Later on, I'll go for a cheeky treat down at the local cafe. All right, so I think we've literally spoke to everyone. Doesn't want to talk to us. In fact, that's what we'll do. We'll go through and talk to each one. She doesn't want to talk.
As amusing as
you don't want to talk. Oh, a bird, maybe. Maybe the bird was the one that's close to us. Pieces of 8?
Pieces of 8?
Hi, matey.
Who is a pretty bird?
Who's a pretty bird?
Ray's a pretty bird.
Mm-hmm.
Polly want a cracker?
No, thank you.
So long, birdie.
Bye-bye.
Okay. So, they don't want to speak. Don't want to speak to him.
This quack hasn't gotten...
Yep. Don't want to speak to her.
If we didn't know she'd been...
Yep. Okay. So that's... Was there a gardener here? There was, right? At some point?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. All right. So this is done. I believe we're going to go through anyway. He'll say we don't want to talk.
Nothing else to ask?
Yep. You as well?
Watching you like a hawk.
Yep. Cool. That's... That's true. She's not there. Doesn't want to talk. Coffee shop. We'll go to the coffee shop.
Best avoid that one. Reminds me of when I was alive. Ah, good times.
Okay.
He and his friend are having quite the conversation. I bet it's really boring. He's missing his left arm below the elbow. How do you suppose that happened?
Steve, if you lost an arm or a leg, would you take back the skeleton of it home, like and mount it or something?
Or
would you
never thought about that, but I wouldn't have thought so.
Okay, you'd let them just incinerate it?
Imagine it just be disposed of.
Judging by the sooty apron, this man is either a metal worker, a chimney sweep, or just really lazy when it comes to washing. Just one of many patrons contributing to the oppressive thug in here. Asleep at a coffee house. One of life's little ironies. She's running back and forth at lightning speed. Clearly, she dips into the coffee supply.
I think one of the others shut down now, but at one stage for ages in the city that me and Bolt live in, there used to be, used to see them on one of the freeways, but there used to be a medical incinerator right next to a refrigerated meat warehouse.
Oh,
There's nothing explicitly wrong with that because it's like technically the incinerator is burning everything at such a high rate that just feels something wrong about those two being next to each other though.
where is that? I don't think I know that.
I was pointing to you once. It was like I think it was the Princess Highway on the way to the Westgate, somewhere down there, like Altona way.
Because over the Westgate, there's the Vegemite factory that gives off a bit of a wang. Like as you're approaching and entering the city.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it's all dead particles.
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
That's it, I think.
Okay.
Then you'd better get back to it.
Means of elimination so far. Coffee house is clear.
That's some Bond villain stuff to have like a golden arm made of your real arm.
Where's the cop from earlier? We stashed him in the bush. Is he still in the bush? Man, we must have knocked him out so well. Maybe we just
Looks like people have left markings.
killed him. Did the
tomb.
punch the nose bone in the brain?
But I wish you'd leave a bomb.
Oh yeah, we've already seen that.
Plaque says Harrison. Doesn't look very opulent, so I guess it doesn't belong to anyone important.
Okay. Yeah, there's nothing here either. See, this is what I'm talking about a little bit, Space. Like, we've been stuck a few times with no real guiding light. Okay, let's go back to the daughter. A little bonsai.
One of those cute little Japanese trees that are all the rage these days. Personally, I don't see how giving a tree a haircut is meant to be relaxing. She's busy. That's not to bother her until we have something to ask her.
We got the pills out of the crypt and gave it to the brother so the brother would speak. That's the only real thing.
And hasn't ticked off the thing in our checklist, so we're dubious about it.
Yeah, but also it says talk to Jean, and
Oh, Mr. Fordham, you're back.
Yeah, speak to Prey, but I don't think when we speak to him.
We haven't got anything else to ask him about right
So
now.
that's literally every character that we can't speak to. So there must be like we get an item or something like that that triggers a conversation. Like I know we do need to get into here because
Jean probably wouldn't appreciate you snooping through his things while he's watching.
and there's no items in the inventory to like transfer across to him or anything like that. It's if you have a pointer space, that would be so appreciated.
You know, I've heard it said that needing to have so many guns is a sign.
We know that it is a compensation. Yeah, well, that's the wife isn't at home. That's where she normally is. We'll go there now, unless she wanders about like, what's her name in Monster Hunter, Tongs? Yeah, so she's not in her chair.
If there isn't a pair of scissors or a hairbrush in Adelaide's hands, you can bet there'll be a book. I always liked that painting. It's impossible to see that kind of scenery here in the
Yeah,
city.
Alma. That's the one. Oh, there's a beer up there. That's the same kind of...
Bollingworth Ale, my favorite. And a nice souvenir from the Angel. You really ought to go back there someday.
We can't take the bottle and give it to... What's his name?
Did we get a torn letter?
Torn letter.
It's from the drawers with the poems?
Maybe not. Yeah, the Dupre's house we know that there's a piano puzzle that we haven't done. We know that there's an alchemy set that I thought we were going to do, but in the end, the pills ended up being in the crypt, so I'm not too sure. Okay, this is the piano puzzle room.
They're all empty. How unusual.
Not to mention disappointing.
Yeah, and there's also this chest that would be good to
I've
open.
never seen so many beauty products.
And this is Laura's room?
Don't know who's...
No, because Laura's the...
Maybe it's this room here. Yeah, this is more.
Yeah, try the desk drawers there.
Nothing else of interest in there.
Oh, you already got it, maybe.
Nothing else of interest.
Yeah, I guess not.
This says nothing else of interest.
Okay, we can click on these things. Okay. Madame Dupre tried to have Juliet withdrawn. Yes, okay. Small amount of stimulant pills. Handcrafted. Yep. Empty bottle of pills. Yep. Tweezers. Useful tool for reaching things too small for human hands to reach, or for plucking pesky long eyebrow hairs. Okay. Verdant Tree, welcome in.
Hello, Baltimore.
How you doing?
It looks like someone subscribed. I'm gonna
Appreciate
give them
the,
a face
the
waterfall of blood.
Most likely poisoned. Poisson. Appearing dead. Dark magic practitioners in the city. I always think of whenever people try to appear dead. Remember that horror movie, Steve, in the 90s called Mikey? How he got a rubber ball and he put it in his arm and it made his pulse stop so he could pretend that he was dead?
I don't think I saw that.
Oh. Okay, documents. Maybe this. Letter de Jean. Thank you so much for your help. Oh, okay. To think that Mother would try and have me withdrawn from my studies is just unbelievable. Don't worry. I won't tell her that you made the university change their minds. One attempt to ruin... Ah, yeah, it says ruin, not win. A life is quite enough. Okay, torn letter here. I'm not going to warn you again, you disgusting... I'm not going to say what that word is in case it's something horrible. Stay away from my daughter and my house or I'll kill you myself.
It's a slur for someone who's like part white, part black.
Yuck. Why do people have to be so mean? Letter to Andrew. Andrew enclosed is the agreed upon fee. I wouldn't be able to concentrate on my exams without the help from Dr. Tennyson. Charges an obscene amount. Thank goodness for the people like you with their home pharmacies. I look for them in the usual spot under the Weeping Angel. Joshua, P.S. Sorry to hear about your mother. I'll wait a few days before passing by. Okay. Message from Upton. Fordham, a big case has come in which I think is interesting to you. Meet me at the Ruined Coffee House for more details. Okay, yep, did that. And then there's also this document here with the scales that we don't know.
Is the harpsichord there? No.
Harpsichord's in the other room.
Harpsichord's in the other room.
Which I feel like we should be able to play something. We just don't know what, though. Why is that torn note? I'm not going to warn you again. Stay away from my daughter. And my house, or I'll kill. Why is that you and Y missing?
I guess the idea is... I guess it would have shown us the handwriting thing. It might have made more sense there where it's just barely legible.
Unless we are meant to write something, is there... There's no words really that we can write with this. Gabbo, Gabbo, Gabbo. See
something. Something we can try, but I think it might be an Easter egg and not actually progression.
Let's do it
You wanna
anyway.
try it?
Yeah. What do you got?
All right, look for high C.
Are the high seas. Yep.
Yep. So high C and then F, G, and C. And I to the left, not to the.
Oh, so you want this and then go down to middle or low C's?
FGC of the middle, I guess.
Okay. F was it next?
No, okay, high C.
Yep.
Then F, G, and C.
Oh.
That's a nice melody. Reminds me of my mother.
That was it.
I'm bobbing.
Something a bit more.
Is that was it not battery is not included? Oh, unless. Now what am I thinking of? What's that? Maybe it was like what
Was that the Close Encounters? Is that part of the melody?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, it was either that or because I think Mogwai, is that what his name was? The Gremlin.
Yeah, there's that
Gizmo
song,
sung a
the
song.
Mogwai song.
Yeah. Okay, so that was just the Chivo. That's cool.
Something I've been thinking, like I've always thought about gremlins. It just sort of came to me once. So you know how, like, when Gizmo touches water and he replicates more Mogwai?
Yep.
Even before they turn into gremlins, they're kind of nasty. Have you, like, noticed that?
Yeah, like he's the good Mogwai.
Yeah, so I've wondered if, like, they're always like that, but the old man that sold, what's his name, Billy Verb, Gizmo, like, did he just get that and just break Gizmo's spirit and just remake him into a nice Mogwai? Like, is that this like rough domestication process to turn it into a pet?
Oh, I don't know. You know what's a missed
I
opportunity?
sometimes thought of that, like is he always good, or has he just been like completely broken by that old man to remake him into
They need to make a third Gremlins film, and they need Gizmo to turn into a gremlin to save the day. Like, that's his sacrifice as he becomes an actual gremlin.
I can only wonder what sort of potions Andrew concocted.
Yeah, or sort of broken like you'd break a horse in. Like, it's a wild animal, you got to break its spirit in order to make it domesticated. That could be Gizmo.
Decadent. Is this really the best that medical science has to offer? The science of pharmacology.
We are officially stuck. Steve, do you want to maybe try and get a hint from a walkthrough or something to get some?
Yeah. So. Do you know about 76 Forest Lane? Have we been there?
Is that the guy's mum's house? The voodoo house?
I'm not sure. No, there's an experiment desk, which I thought we looked at, but I don't know, it might be a different experiment desk.
I mean, this is the only one we've ever seen, the workstation.
Maybe it is different. Okay, then I guess I might go a bit earlier. Juliet's room in this house.
Juliet's room, I think, is this one here. Yeah. I would think maybe we could pick the lock with the tweezers, but we don't actually have...
Are there some papers we can ruffle through?
Oh, maybe that is it.
Let's have a look through these papers.
Oh, I think we've done...
What's this?
Ah, okay. Dear Miss Montgomery, unfortunately I've been informed of a series of burglaries in the neighborhood near the room you're renting from me at 76 Forest Lane. As a precaution, I've gone ahead and changed the locks. Please find the enclosed copy of your new key. I hope this doesn't cause you too much of an inconvenience. Edwina Crestfell.
So, Juliet is renting a room in the Chum. That's certainly interesting. I can't wait to see what sort of dirty secrets she's got hidden away in there.
Yeah, I guess I assumed that, like, the desk drawers were the same thing, but... Alright, that's good to know. See, that's all we needed. Just a quick little unclog. I went for a walk last night, and a late night walk, and because there's a McDonald's near my house, like, I hate McDonald's, but because they've got that Shamrock Shake for the first time, I know it's a common place in America, but we never had it here. I gave it a shot. It was what it was, kind of just disappointing, as all McDonald's is.
I don't think I've had a Capri Sun.
Capri Sun is just like a Prima, I believe, but in a little like a sachet, like a mini goon. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Egad! Is this someone's room or a jungle?
Quite a fascinating array of plants in here, not to mention the machinery on the table.
Seems like Juliet is very interested in getting extra credit.
I bought from the International Aisle of Coles the other day. It's like a Capri Sun, but it's a Japanese drink that is it's yuzu jelly. So you drink like a jelly from a little pouch. Those are good. Not bad.
I wonder what sort of fertilizer or growth tonic these plants are getting. Whatever it is, it's definitely working. That's quite the book collection. It almost puts Adelaide's to shame.
All impeccably cataloged and organized as well, which makes the two missing volumes stand out even more.
Those are the most vibrant flowers we've seen in a while. I bet they smell extra strong.
Yes, they certainly do.
It's a good thing you're the one with the nose. This plant makes Miles Jr. look like a single blade of grass. They appear to be scientific scribblings. I can't make heads nor tails of them.
That makes two of us.
They appear to be scientific scribblings.
That makes two.
Okay.
I'm guessing they're probably full of more scientific equipment or plant-related stuff.
Okay. There's a fly.
Well, now, this is interesting. Well,
I think they're electrocuting flies. Etheric effects on a fly.
Brain is clearly affected, inducing a trance-like state. Muscle control, lost wing flap is in predictable pattern. Conclusion: if animals with greater cognitive ability, including humans, are exposed to specific quantities of ethericity, they will go into a stupor, appearing unresponsive or dead. Oh, it is the daughter. She's poisoned her mum. Or zapped her mum or whatever.
Yeah, it could be. But that means whoever's...
Oh no, it's the flower.
So I thought the sun was the more, like, scientific...
Well, she's the botanist, and I think it's using a flower, considering this here. Larger, more vibrant flowers, chlorophyll production seemingly triples, root system strengthen, increasing capacity to absorb nutrients. Conclusion: plants thrive from exposure to small etheric currents. Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's not the plant, it's both of them are being exposed to etheric, which is electricity, basically.
Yeah. Further experiments are needed to determine long-term effects.
Etheric pressure?
Someone might have
What a bunch of
sapped it.
nonsense.
Such a...
Oh, it's a Tesla.
Hmm.
I forget what it's called.
Tesla coil.
Yeah. What's in the thing?
Oh, would you look at that?
The flies.
Oh, would you look at that? Etheric pressure. I have no idea nor desire to know what purpose that thing has.
What if the mum came in here and touched it herself? Like she's playing around with it like we are.
Just a bunch of technical nonsense. I can't understand a word of it.
Let's do it again.
I keep struggling to the word Tesla coil because of the what's that video game series? Command and Conquer. Those games have it, so in my mind it's like, no, it can't be that called that. I think they've got Tesla coils in that as well. It's like a thing you can build.
Think so, yeah. I think there's also Tesla coils in what's that game? Oh man. It came out last year. It's a third-person game with all the bugs and the robots, and I've got a mental blank. What is it called?
Cyberpunk?
No, it's number 2 of something. Oh my god, why can't I think? You know, it's like Starship Troopers, but it's in a game.
Helldivers 2.
Helldivers 2, there you go. Thank you so much. Yeah, Helldivers 2, they've got Tesla coils, but it ends up zapping your teammates more than it does the bugs. So it's like a grief weapon. Okay, experiment desk. I think that... let's save it first. We haven't saved at all yet. Casebook. Oh, we can go speak to the daughter now, I believe, now that we've played with it. Hello, Missy. We've got some talking to do.
Hello again, Miss Montgomery. Mind answering a few more questions?
Hello, Mr. Fordham. Not at all.
Do you know anything about ethericity, Miss Montgomery?
You surprised me, Mr. Fordham. I had no idea someone of your profession would know or care about something like that.
I've found that it pays to be open-minded.
To answer your question, yes, I am familiar with the theory of ethericity. In fact, it's recently become a focus of my studies. Despite what the newspapers have been reporting, it's already possible to access it in small quantities from the air around us.
Have you conducted any experiments?
No, my research has been purely theoretical. I don't have the means to do anything practical.
What about the flies we've seen?
Deceiver, December.
Yeah.
Her trousers are alight. I can't understand why Juliet might not want to make her research public, though.
Miss Montgomery, please don't lie to me. I know you've been conducting experiments with ethericity. I've seen the room you're renting on Forest Lane.
What? But how?
How? I am a smart man, and I managed to find the key that was stuck to the papers thanks to the walkthrough that we looked into.
Yeah, I think the last option.
Oh, I didn't.
Just tell her that you
through
just.
my room? Through my private things? How dare you?
It's part of my job, Miss Montgomery. Now tell me about your experiments.
No, Mr. Fordham, I don't think I will. You had no right to go through my private documents, and I'm not legally obligated to tell you anything. So kindly drop the subject before I decide to press charges against you for unlawful entry.
Ooh, touchy, isn't she? Although it's generally not
Yeah,
a
so
good idea to tell people you
that
are
was my
doing
mistake. I'm going to reload it because I'd sneezed and I still had sneeze brain, and I thought I was going through dialogue, like exhausting dialogue rather than choosing an option. So we'll quickly load that. Which one was it? I don't remember. Hang on. If we go to save...
Well, if you did it explicitly, the other two are auto-saves, aren't they?
I think I saved over an autosave. Let's try it. Yeah, old sneeze brain got me. Let's load this one. I think this is it. Is this it? I don't know. I don't think we saved on there. We literally saved a second ago. That's not it either. Oh shit, that's not it. It must be the map one.
Yeah, 'cause I was
Hello
thinking
again,
that
Miss
was like the
Montgomery.
worst thing you could
Mind
say,
answering
which
a few more
was
questions?
in another
Mr.
point and click
Fordham,
wouldn't matter
not at all.
because it has to progress, but this one would punish you for it.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about...
You
I've...
to despite
Have you conducted...
no.
Deceiver,
Okay.
Miss Montgomery, I know...
What?
Here we go.
Last one's the best.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be very good
Don't
at
be-
my
don't
job
give
if I
any
didn't find things
information.
out, Miss Montgomery. Now please, drop the act and tell me about your experiments.
Fine. I've
Yeah.
been researching etheric effects on living organisms. I'm planning on presenting my discoveries to the board once I make more progress. So far, I've managed to discover that plant growth is accelerated significantly. It's given me quite the advantage in class.
But isn't that cheating?
You have no idea how difficult it's been for me to be taken seriously, Mr. Fordham. No matter how hard I tried, my work wasn't valued on its own merits by my peers or professors. I fought hard to get where I am. I wasn't about to lose all that just because some pig-headed idiots didn't think my best was good enough.
That sounds awfully familiar.
What about your notes on the effects of ethericity on animals?
Oh, those aren't complete. I haven't tested the effects on anything larger than flies.
Apart from
Those
Mumsy.
experiments were mainly to satisfy my curiosity, but they have little to do with my actual research.
Curiosity? Seems like a lot of effort to go to just to answer a question. Then, I never really understood these scientific types.
No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
Fordham, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Wait, what am I saying? Of course you are. Madame Dupre has been interfering with Juliet's studies and disapproved of her relationship with Martin. Hence, they're falling out. Plus,
Yep.
the information in Juliet's notes about ethericity, putting animals into a death-like trance, seems awfully suspicious. It's enough to establish both means and motive. That's plenty to consider her a suspect.
Yes. Suspect number 2. Ba-ba-bum. Madame Dupre's estranged daughter hates her mother for disapproving of her relationship and trying to have her removed from university. Researching ethericity and its ability of making creatures appear dead. Okay. So let's go talk to coffee shop lady and let her know. That's not coffee shop lady at all. This is coffee shop lady. Upton. C. Upton.
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
Oh, we don't want to wrap up the case
That's
yet.
it, I think.
Then you'd better get back to it.
Okay, what is our goals now? Investigate the tomb. Already done that. Don't know why it keeps telling me to do that. Return, speak to Jean Dupre. Return to Upton and accuse Juliet. Oh, okay, so there's 2 different...
Oh, so it's ways to go.
Alright, let's go talk to Dupre. Space, when you played this game, did you get every single one of the people right in the little cases that you do, or did you get some wrong?
Oh, Mr. Fordham, you're back.
We haven't got anything else to ask him about right now.
Don't we? Don't we? I wonder if there's a
Her
cure.
eyes are glazed over. If we did, this quack has.
Let's talk to the brother. You got them all right. Wow.
As amusing as it is to
Okay, follow-up question, just so I know how this game works. Does it get to a point where it tells you, okay, now you need to make up your mind who did it? Like, or is it like we currently are, where we can now go to Upton and then just say who we think did it? Like, I want to know, does it feel like each case concludes in a video game-like fashion? Or do you just, when you're ready, you go do it? Like, I feel like we have enough to accuse Juliet. That's my gut feeling, but I'm not sure if we're missing stuff first. I just go to the Upton when you're ready to accuse someone. It's very much up to your own confidence. Okay. Right. And Steve, judging by the look of the walkthrough you were using for tips, did this case have much more to investigate, or like I just want to feel how?
Then I didn't scroll down further because I just wanted to. Similar to always, I just use the walkthrough just to find the one thing that'll unblock things.
Right. I just don't know if I'm done. That's the thing. Like I'm very confident that it was Juliet.
Yeah, it's hard for me to judge because the way I think of it is like it definitely wasn't Martin because that's like the whole crux of like murder investigations is there's usually an obvious person.
Mm.
You gotta find out who the real person is.
Yeah.
But then the things around Juliet are a little bit too plain and obvious, I guess. Like,
Well, it's obvious because we found her secret room. If we didn't find her room, then it would be a bit more vague. I don't know.
I just sort of think that this might be another red herring. But then it is the first case, so maybe it's not that complicated. And also, it also feels like we've exhausted most other things without looking at the walkthrough to see what we might have missed.
Exactly.
But apart from the stuffing up the Martin's mother thing, because we pushed too hard about the back room.
Yeah.
Which the walkthrough said, don't do that. Other than that, like, I don't know. I was just wondering, it seems we've caused exhaustion to something, but it could be like we've missed, like the same way we missed that key and the letter.
Yeah.
It could be something simple we missed, especially when it keeps saying investigate the Chesterton tomb.
I feel like something this game should have added is maybe like handhold one case. Yeah, just to let you know how the game wants you to do it. Maybe it's worth Steve. Like, okay, here's the thing, right? At this point, I would be willing to accuse Juliet of the crime. So, do you mind checking the walkthrough in a tutorial-like fashion to see if there's anything else we would need to do to maybe steer us, like if there's like 3 more paragraphs after what we've just done, for instance, then maybe we have more things to do. But I just kind of feel like it's the bow's tied here. I don't know. We never did use the tweezers from memory, though. We used the piano for an Easter egg. That's it.
It keeps going for a while after this.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. That's sort of what we needed.
As amusing as it is to chat with this oddball, I think we've exhausted his usefulness at the moment.
Unless we go back to her apartment now that we know that she knows we know. Oh, we can't go to the apartment. It's locked off. Okay.
These crypts are reserved for future generations of...
There are only...
Then let's hope that...
We already know that. Is there anything else in here?
This must be what was going to be Madame Dupre's final resting place.
I don't see anything inside.
What? Were you expecting a...
No, but...
There's nothing... Oh, hang on.
I suppose the whole heaven shining down upon the tomb motif is good for the dead people's self-esteem.
Is there anything... Why would it allow us to even look at the nest? That's kind of strange. Look at that. The nest looks like an eye? Yeah, it does, for sure.
That nest is full of eggs. But where's the mother bird?
Perhaps she abandoned it.
Always assuming the worst, aren't you, Miles?
What do you think we should do, Steve? Where should we go?
I'm not sure. It's hard to say if it's progresses. As I scroll down, there's a whole bunch of don't do this. And I have no idea whether we actually did that or not. Because there's a bit where we're talking to Amelie, the kitchen staff.
Yeah.
But it says, don't tell her you're a private investigator. Which I think we might have done because the fact that she won't talk.
Yep. Exactly. It could be that we've locked ourselves out of everything now.
Go to one of the room with the bookcase and click on the red
Mr.
book.
Fordham, you're back.
Back at the Dupree household?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, Lord Dupree's room.
Yeah, we did this before, I believe. Sure, I've clicked on this before.
Choice and consequence. Who in their right mind would write a book about that?
Looks like something's missing. Anything else you wanted with that, Steve?
No, it could be that something's needed before that. Because the booklet just says, look at the bookcase and click on the red book, and then clues bloody whip. But we don't have that clue, do we? But then it doesn't trigger anything.
No.
Oh, dear God, no. Please, let's not expose ourselves to that drivel again.
Yeah. Sure.
That's an old uniform. From the turn of the century by the look of it. This must be Madame Dupre's first husband. Kinda strange that she'd still keep his portrait in the bedroom. A much younger Madame Dupre. I suppose that's a nice alternative. Must be nice being able to afford keeping your oil lamps lit during the daytime. Nice bouquet of roses, although it would make things much easier if they were Easter lilies.
If only.
Mm-hmm. Am I right? Mm-hmm.
Why would anyone need so many flowers in one room?
Perhaps it's to mask the odors of those chemicals on the workstation.
Could be. Why would anyone need...
Perhaps it's...
As amusing as it is to chat with this oddball, I think we've exhausted his usefulness at the moment.
I feel like I just want to go and use this as a pancake case, accuse who we think it is.
Yeah.
And then it essentially, because I guess at the start we didn't know that we could lock ourselves out of conversations permanently. And in my sneeze brain earlier, we did that with the lady as well, but we reloaded so we could actually do it. So I'm thinking we do it that way. We go and accuse, and if we fail this case, and then we'll be ready and rip-roaring to go for the next case. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess maybe check something.
Mm-hmm.
Because we could have stuffed it up, with just small dialogue choices. I guess check the clues and documents, see if there's Madame Dupre's cruelty. Oh, no, hang on. Documents, letter to Jean.
There's, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we got that. Oh, yeah. And then blues, Madame Dupre's cruelty.
We don't have the cruelty one. I think that might have been something from the lady in the kitchen. She may have
No,
explained.
it's the hunting lodge.
Hunting lodge. Well, it could be, maybe it's in the drawers that we can't get to because old mate's hanging out in the hunting lodge.
Maybe because it says, yeah, click on the cabinet to get the... Oh, no, we got the letter.
Which letter?
Letter to Jean. Documents.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that, if that's all that's in the cabinet? Like, I'm pretty sure when we clicked on the cabinet, that's where Jean actually came in and it prevented us from doing it.
It says here, we got the letter that it mentions, but it says click on the cabinet to get the letter, then click on the gun rack to trigger John's return to the lodge.
Oh, maybe we did it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me go to the lodge, see if we... So he definitely doesn't talk at the lodge.
Definitely doesn't, but we'll go there anyway. We've got nothing to lose.
Oh, Mr. Fordham, you're back.
We haven't got anything else to ask him about right now.
Hmm.
So we can't talk to him.
No.
We haven't got anything else to ask him about right now.
Yeah, that's weird because it says they're missing a clue because of it. Maybe that's a snowball effect from missing other stuff earlier, maybe.
Yeah. That's why I reckon we just...
Okay, one last thing, we'll just go to the cemetery. Does feel like this is deviating from where we should be.
Yep.
Click on, go into the cemetery, click on Celine's crypt to get a close-up.
That's interesting because I clicked on all the crypts and I didn't get a close-up earlier, but... we'll find out.
John Patrick Desmond James William Celine.
No close-up.
Celine, 1823 to 1844. Taken too soon. Rest ye with the angels.
Okay, because there should be a piece of paper on it that you click on it and use the tweezers.
No, there is nothing of the sort. It must be a snowball effect.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's save. Let's... Did we fail? Alright, let's go and just try and hand it in and see what happens. No worries, Space. Thanks for dropping by. We'll be pretty much calling it soon anyway, but we'll solve the case first. Solve in air quotes.
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
Here we go.
I think I'm ready to wrap this case up.
Okay, who's your prime suspect?
It was Juliette Montgomery, Madame Dupre's estranged daughter.
Her daughter? But why?
Madame Dupre disapproved of Juliette's relationship with Mr. Martin and also tried to have her withdrawn from university. Juliette grew to hate her and wanted to be free of her overbearing and controlling influence.
So, how did she do it?
Aside from studying botany, Juliette is also interested in ethericity. She rents a room in the Chum where she conducts her experiments. Among her notes, she talks about the ability to use the power to put living things into a death-like trance.
Fiendish. Nice work, Fordham. I'll pass along the information
Well,
and we can make an arrest.
sounds good to me.
Bittersweet news for Mr. Martin, I think. And of course, I'll dip into the department's Good Samaritan Fund to get you proper
Done and
compensation for your
dusted.
work.
Yep.
For now, go home to your wife. I'm sure I'll have something else for you to look into fairly soon.
Accused Juliette Montgomery achievement.
Juliette Montgomery?
Yes, may I help you with something?
You're under arrest for the attempted murder of Madame Laura Dupre.
What? But how can that be?
Come with me, Miss Montgomery. We'll need to question you at the station.
I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for all you kids.
Addie, I'm home. Addie?
She must still be out at her hairdressing appointment. I'm glad we're alone.
What do you
because
mean?
I wanted to talk to you about something.
Okay.
Yes, Bill, I know. I told you I'm doing my best to try and find the flower shop burglar.
No, for once, this isn't about him. This is about you.
Me? Me?
You want to talk about me? What about me?
You can play dumb and deflect all you like with everyone else around you, but it won't work with me. I know exactly what you're thinking, and you know exactly what I'm gonna say.
You want me to find out about that?
You want to talk about me finding the burglar from the flower shop?
I just said, not right at this moment. Don't you listen?
Oh, no,
Have
don't-
you already forgotten the old days, Miles? Before I died, we were solving cases like nobody's business. You were one of the best detectives on the force. But ever since you started taking that soporific, your mind hasn't been as sharp as before. If you're serious about taking on more complex cases, you need to listen to Adelaide and stop taking it. It's already had a negative effect on your performance.
Okay.
What are you talking about? We discovered it was Juliet who was to blame.
Yes, but if you were working at your full abilities, you'd have come to that conclusion much sooner.
Ah.
Or maybe a different conclusion
Stop
altogether.
taking it, you won't let me sleep through the night. Nothing will change.
Well, things would change if you found you know who.
I thought you said we weren't going to
Yeah.
talk about that right now.
Yeah, well, I say a lot of things.
An understatement if ever there was one. Can't you just keep quiet without me having to take something?
Afraid not, old friend. That's just not who I am or how this works.
If you keep me up all night, I'll go crazy. Things have been hard enough as it is. And if, God forbid, Adelaide were ever to find out about...
Hello, Miles. Is there someone else here? I thought I heard you talking just now.
Fantastic. The jig is up. And here I thought we were doing so well,
It
too.
was a soliloquy. I swear.
No,
The
I
last one's
was
bad,
just
yeah.
going over the case. Thinking aloud, you see.
Ah, of course.
How was your appointment?
Mrs. Lefebvre was her usual bossy and overly picky self, but she gave me a very generous tip.
That's good.
So I stopped by the shop on the way home
Just the
and
tip.
bought a new deck of cards.
Excellent. Shall we have a few rounds of écarté? I believe you demanded a rematch last time we played.
Yes, that would be nice.
Well, you certainly managed to dodge that bullet. I only wish I could say the same.
That's right, because we shot him. But he did tell us to shoot him, so, I mean, he takes some of the blame, right?
And it says here they still don't know what caused that explosion.
I guarantee you it was sabotage. Those red eyes
Fatality.
have been in a lot of trouble lately.
Is that the group of anti-steam tech radicals?
The very same.
Why Redites, though?
They're named after some fellow named Jonathan Red. Apparently the one who began the whole anti-steam movement. It's really a rather stupid name, if you ask me. And uncreative, to boot.
Well, what would you call them then?
The Boom Boom Boys. Hell yeah, we would.
Something more evocative, like the Boom Boom Boys.
Definitely gets to the point, I'll give you that. Perhaps you'd best stick with the detecting, dearest. Your nomenclature needs a bit of work.
Well, I think it's about time I get ready for bed.
All right, Miles, if you must.
Alright, we'll save it here. I know I mentioned it to some people, but because we're on stream and there's other people here, I recently discovered that the world's most deadliest spider has been updated, the list. Steve, have I spoken to you specifically about this
I think
spider?
someone posted a link that was weird because it's more like the world's dangerous spider has been split into 3 different species, and one of those species is the big poison one. Is that right?
Kind of. They discovered so originally the Sydney funnel web spider was the most dangerous spider in the world. You get a bite by that. If you don't get help by in 15 minutes, you're dead. That's just the way it was. But what's happened is they've discovered a subspecies of the Sydney funnel web. So while it is a funnel web, it's its own species. It's a subspecies. It's its own thing, right? And that has been deemed as the new most deadliest spider because it is double the size of the Sydney funnel web, and therefore also has more venom and because the fangs are bigger, more venom gets injected. So basically, it's a monster spider. But the name of the spider is the best part, because it was named by an Australian because it's an Australian spider, and that name is the Newcastle Big Boy. And I think that is just the best ever. The most deadliest spider in the world is called the Big Boy.
There's something I saw recently that reminds me of, was like this person saying that Australians have this weird thing where they rank venomous creatures that are already lethal. They still rank them in terms of more venomous. And he goes, for instance, they'll say the brown snake is more venomous than the red belly snake. And he goes, the red belly snake will still kill you. It's just the brown snake will kill you twice as fast.
Yeah, there's actually
like, what the fuck does it matter that much?
There's a scale almost like the Scoville unit scale that I saw on I was watching a spider documentary, and it's, you know how the Scoville unit, right, is how many equal parts water it takes to diffuse the heat. There's a similar thing with venom in that how many parts of venom would kill X amount of people, and I think it's the lower the number, the more people it will kill, because it's a smaller amount of venom to hit. So while yes, like five different types of animals will kill you equally the same, you can't be double dead.
Yeah.
It's the amount of toxicity that multiple people.
I guess there's a bit of difference in terms of, like, if it kills you twice as fast, you've got less time to get to somewhere to get antivenom. But I know what's a good observation of, like, if it's already at the lethal stage, then what's it matter that much?
Yeah, and it's not like you're pouring the venom into like a jug of water or something and splitting it between different people or whatever. But I don't know. It's interesting. It's scary.
It also reminds me of, like, that old, I think it was on the old SKFM show. I don't think it was on the new podcast, but the one where Mickey Gervais meets Carl Pilkington. I remember one of the conversations was, I think it was something like the brown recluse has enough venom to kill 1,000 people or something like that. And it freaked him out, and he goes, but why does this little spider want to kill 1,000 people? And they're trying to explain, no, it's not that he wants to, it's not that he does kill 1,000 people, but he just doesn't get the concept. Like that factoid just buried into his thing, and that he doesn't get the concept of that.
I reckon I'm due for a rewatch of all the Ricky Gervais and Carl Pilkington stuff. It's been long enough that I feel that it might be semi-fresh again.
Yeah, I recently went back through it.
Yeah.
Because it's on a podcast. I used to have the MP3s and have that on my work computer. But yeah, I don't know where those would be now, but I found there's a whole bunch of, I think there's multiple podcasts where someone's just gotten the audio, cleaned it up, and published it.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, let's call it here. We made some good progress. We solved the case regardless of all the things we got locked out of, but we know going into the next one, we'll be more diligent on what we actually say. Let me snooze that ad. Let's raid somebody. Let's see who's on. We have Eric of England. He's a good dude. Eric of England is also a Rocksmith streamer, but he's not playing that at the moment, but I'll lock you guys in. Of course, it is the weekend, so make sure you do the thing that we always recommend. Have something delicious. Get yourself like a really good coffee from a cafe, or maybe a croissant, or, pizza for dinner. That's what I feel like I might do tonight. I don't know what I'm going to have, but, do something for yourself. All right. All right, sending you guys across. We will catch you next time. Toodaloo.
See everyone.